God says, as long as you are not surrendered to me, the law of karma applies. But when you do surrender, my grace will intervene. That grace will burn up your sins of endless lifetimes. They will all be burnt and gotten rid of. Surrender is not an external act. It's not that by putting on a certain tilak you are surrendered, or going to a certain holy place you are surrendered, or saying a certain mantra you are surrendered. Surrender is a state of our consciousness, and it has different aspects, facets to it. This leads to the question, what is surrender? 6 points need to be fulfilled for surrender. So let's take a look at what these important points are. The first one, anukulyasya sankalpaha. What does that mean? To align your wish with the wish of your Sharanya, whom you are surrendering to, God and Guru. To desire in accordance with the desire of God. Why? Because surrender means to accept you are the servant of God. So the job of the servant is to fulfill the wish of the master. Whatever he wants, that is what I want. Such was the expression of the saints. Mirabai says, if Shree Krishna wishes to make me laugh, I will laugh. If he wishes to make me cry, I will cry. If he wishes to ignore me, who are you? I don't know you. So be it. If he wishes to shower his love and accept me, so be it. But mere to giridhar gopal dusra na koi, jaake sir mor mukut mero pati soi. This is the expression of surrender. If we say, oh God, why did you do this to me? Then the surrender breaks. Surrender means whatever the Lord wants. The second point, pratikulyasya varjanam. Don't desire against the desire of God. It is the same thing as the first one. If you desire according to his desire, you will not desire against his desire. But just to confirm it, it has been reversed and negated. As they say, double negative. So first they said desire according to his desire. Now pratikulyasya varjanam. Don't desire against the desire of God. So how do you know what God wants? When you meet him, you can ask him. But before you meet him, you have to gather the wisdom to understand what he wants through the knowledge of the scriptures and the knowledge you receive from the Guru. So does God want us to be irresponsible? Does God want us to be a derelict? Does God want us to be wasteful in our senses, etc., to chase unnecessary pleasures? He doesn't. So don't do it. Very simple. Don't want what God doesn't want. But the problem arises when God gives us a little suffering. When He gives us happiness, nobody complains. Why did I get happiness? Why did my investment in the marketplace go up? Nobody asks this question. But when a little bit of unhappiness comes, immediately we complain. Why did God do this to me? Now the moment that thought comes, it becomes a pratikul sankalp, desiring against the will of God. God says, you do your bit, you do your best, and you leave the results to me. So to accept the results, this is surrender. There is a verse in the Bhagavatam, very powerful verse. Tatte nukampam susamikshamaano bhunjanaivatmakritam vipakam. It states that God's property will become your inheritance. The father's property becomes the inheritance of the child. So God's property will become your daya bhak if you can fulfill these three conditions. So remember these three conditions now. Write them in golden letters in your spiritual diary. Keep waiting for His grace patiently. Don't complain. I have been waiting for so long, He's forgotten all about me. No, the delay is not from His side, it is from our side. Tere karam, karam means kripa. So one devotee says, Tere karam mein kami nahi, tu kareem hai. Kusur mera hai, jhootha ummidwar hu main. We have not prepared ourselves as yet, that is why the delay. So keep on waiting patiently. Bhunjana eva atmakritam vipakam. Whatever happiness or distress comes your way, just bear with it peacefully, without complaining. Whatever consequences of your karmas you get, bear with them without complaining. And ridvag vapur bhir, with your mind, with your words, with your body, keep offering your devotion to the Lord. If you can fulfill this, then bhakti becomes your birthright, your inheritance. So this is the second point then, pratikul varjanam. Don't desire against the desire of God. The third one, to always feel that He is protecting me. And so I have got nothing to fear. Why should a little child in the parent's hand feel fear? The child knows. I have seen so many times fathers holding their children on top of the well like this, and the child is laughing, ha 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 ha. Because the child knows that my father is protecting me. So this is a game that is going on. Likewise, we are in the hands of our eternal Father. So what is the need to fear? To have this faith that He is taking care of me. There was once a naval captain who after marriage went with his wife on her first sea voyage. And on the high seas, the ship got caught in a storm. It was tossing with the waves. There was complete pandemonium in the boat. Everybody was panicking. But this captain was calm and peaceful. That impressed his newlywed wife, who said, "My dear husband, this ship is tossing like this. People are all scared to death. You are not scared. I don't see any tinge of fear in you." The captain took out the sword from its sheath and he placed the blade on his wife's head. He said, "My dear wife, the naked blade is on your head. Are you scared?" She said, "Of course not." "Why not?" "The sword is in your hand and you are my well-wisher. Why should I be scared?" The husband said, "Likewise, this ship, I have faith, is in God's hands. And God is my well-wisher. Why should I be scared? Whatever He does, it will be for my well-being. Even if He kills me, it will be just to give me a better birth. Why should I worry?" So, the sign of surrender is that worry disappears. To worry means to that extent we are not yet surrendered. And to be surrendered means to be free of worry. Jahi vidhi rakhe Ram, tahi vidhi rahiye. This faith in God's protection is the third point in surrender. And then is the fourth point. And what is that? To always feel gratitude for all the little graces that you receive. One is the final grace which will result in liberation from Maya and God realization. That will be the final step. But on the way we receive so many little graces. To feel grateful. The earth that He has created for us, the air that we breathe, now we take it for granted. I breathe air, so what? But you ask the COVID patients whose SpO2 count went down to 85 and below, how difficult they were gasping for mere oxygen. Now that entity without which we cannot survive 5 minutes, God has placed it in free fund all around us. At least feel gratitude that this is a blessing of God. We are breathing oxygen created by Him and we are not paying any taxes. So, one father worked hard for his child. Tell the child, be grateful to your father, he cut his stomach to feed you. The child says, why should I feel grateful? My father was doing his duty. His father did for him, he is doing for me. That would be considered ingratitude, ungratefulness. So, to appreciate the blessings is gratefulness. Now we say that is prasad, blessing. Another name for it is prasad. Say it's all the prasad of God. You offer food and then you receive it as prasad. But in my opinion, even if you don't offer it, it is still prasad. Because without God's grace, you could never have got it. How did the food get created? It was God's technology that enabled the creation. One lady, she cooked a meal and she brought it for me. So I said, Devi ji, who made this sabzi? She said, Swamiji, I made it. I said, did you make the potatoes or did you make the cabbage? She said, no, my husband got them from the market. I only cleaned them and cooked them. So who made them? It was mud that transformed into edibles for us humans. Now that technology, does anybody else in the world have it? You take a lump of mud and go to Stanford and MIT and any of the Ivy League colleges and tell them, sir, I am interested in setting up a factory. One side we will put mud and the other side we will get the chosen fruit or vegetable. All the Nobel Prize winners in the world will admit defeat, impossible. So ultimately it's God's technology at work that enables us to get food. It is all His grace. To appreciate the blessings and feel gratitude is the fourth point in surrender. And the fifth point is to keep this sentiment that all I have belongs to the Lord. It is not mine, it is His. Give up the sense of proprietorship, because we came empty-handed in the world and we will leave our hands behind and go. Where is the question of taking anything with us? So this concept that this is mine, that is mine, is our misconception. The whole world belongs to the Lord. One of the most charitable people in Indian history who was famous for it was Raja Raghu. He was the ancestor of Lord Ram. So Lord Ram's father was Dashrath of the solar dynasty, and Dashrath's father was Aj, and Aj's father was Raghu. So Raghuvansh name comes after Raghu. Raghu once did Vishvajit Yagya. This Vishvajit Yagya has a rule. Whatever you have to give it all in charity. Nothing must remain. Sa Vishvajita Majahre Yagyam Sarvasva Dakshinam Adanami Visargaya Satam Vari Muchamiva. So Raghu thought, look, like the clouds gather water from the earth, not for themselves, but to shower it as rain back on the earth. Likewise, as king, I gathered taxes, not for myself, but for the sake of my public. So he did the Vishvajit Yagya and he gave it all away. Now he donned the dress of a beggar, and with a mud bowl he went out to beg his first meal after the Yagya. He went and sat down under a tree. And out there, some of his citizens were sitting. They didn't recognize the king has come. And they were talking, our Raja Raghu, he's nobody like him. He's the most charitable person in history, etc. They were praising him profusely. And those words entered Raghu's ears. He said, "Hey, what are you all saying?" They said, "We are praising our king. There's nobody like him. He has given all his possessions in charity." So Raghu said, "Don't you dare say that again." They said, "Who are you?" He said, "Raghu has not given anything. I know." They said, "You are criticizing our dear king, who's dearer to us than our life. We'll beat you up." Raghu said, "Go and ask your king. When he came into this world, did he have anything? All that is in this world, he has acquired. And the whole world belongs to God. So everything that he has belongs to God." This sense of proprietorship, to give it up, is the fifth point of surrender. And the sixth point of surrender is to surrender the pride of having surrendered. To do the good deed and also forsake the pride of it. To think, if I was able to do it, it was God's grace. See, you put in your best efforts. The results will always require your effort and God's grace. But the spirit of devotion is to attribute it all to God's grace. My efforts in this age of Kali, where was the question of getting this intellect of engaging in devotion? If I did come on the path, it was God's blessings that arranged, that connived for it. So, to free yourself from any tinge of pride, you can never settle accounts with God. No matter what you do, The blessings you receive are always His causeless mercy. So, when you surrender, also surrender the pride and attribute any success to divine grace. These 6 points will help us attract grace. So, like I said, 2 things are necessary. You put in your effort and divine grace.